Hello, my people. Good day to you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for tuning in every single day to listen to me on Daily Mind Shift. My name is Michael Ujola from Mindset Transformation Africa. And on today's episode, I want us to talk about common grounds, all right? I want to talk about common grounds. Let me anchor today's episode on this statement. Few beliefs are more tragic than we have nothing in common. Find common ground with someone you may not have it with today. Few beliefs are more tragic than we have nothing in common. Find common ground with someone you may not have it with today. I know you've heard it. We have nothing in common. We have nothing in common. So we want to confront this particular truth or statement rather. Maybe you've even said it. Maybe you've believed it. But I'm here to challenge it because that belief might be robbing you of your next breakthrough. It might be robbing you of your next connection. It might be robbing you of your next moment of healing or even your next blessing. So let's talk a little bit about it. We have nothing in common. I think it's an illusion of separation. When you hear that phrase, you might picture two people on opposite ends of the spectrum, different races, different generations, different religions, different politics, different cultures. And so because of those differences, the assumption is made that connection is not possible. But here's the truth. This particular belief is often a lazy shortcut that the mind takes to avoid the hard work of understanding. It is a defense mechanism that is masquerading as conclusion. It is fear wearing the mask of clarity. You see, human beings are meaning-making machine. We always find a way to make meaning out of things, but too often, instead of making meaning, we make misunderstandings. We think if someone is not like us, if they don't vote like us, pray like us, speak like us, eat like us, or look like us, then there is no point in bridging that distance. But when we do that, we are not avoiding disconnection. We are causing it. We are causing disconnection. And here's what I've learned. There is always something in common. If we dare to look deep enough, we all bleed red. We all want to be seen. We all crave to be heard. We all carry joys. We all carry pains and wounds. See, let me ask you this. How many connections, opportunities, or even moments of destiny have been missed in your life? Not because you lacked the potential to connect, but because you refuse to search for common ground. Think about that person that you work with who rubs you the wrong way. You've convinced yourself you've got nothing in common with them. But have you tried to look for even a crack in that wall? A shared love for music, a mutual frustration with a process, a similar upbringing, a common goal. See, we so easily dismiss people without realizing we are dismissing what they carry for us. Sometimes your next level won't come through the person you like. It will come through the person you are least likely to connect with until you do. That belief that we have nothing in common, it's keeping you from trying. And here's the tragedy. Common ground is almost never found by accident. It is discovered through intentionality. Let's flip this a little bit. What if instead of avoiding people who are different, you leaned into them with curiosity? What if instead of assuming the worst, you ask deeper questions? See, finding common ground doesn't require you to become like someone else. It requires you to be open to see what already connects you with them. And listen, it is not always going to be comfortable. It is not always going to feel natural, but discomfort is not a red flag. Sometimes it is just a growing pain. You don't grow by staying in rooms full of people who look like you, talk like you, think like you, and act exactly like you. No. Real growth happens at the intersection of the differences. Common ground is like gold. It often lies beneath the surface, and the only people who find gold are those who dig. So, if you are not digging, don't complain about being broke relationally, emotionally, spiritually, or even professionally. Here's something else I have noticed. The people we say we have nothing in common with are often the ones we've had some sort of conflict with. And sometimes that conflict becomes a cover for something else. It becomes a cover for pain, fear, past trauma, or even our own insecurities. It is easier to say we have nothing in common than to admit that this person challenges me in ways I'm not ready to be challenged, or this person reminds me of someone who hurt me, or this person mirrors something I don't want to see in myself. I want you to look deeper. If conflict is smoke, then misunderstanding is often the fire underneath the smoke. But what if the person you are at odds with is just a mirror? What if the very thing you resist in them is what needs healing in you? Don't let unresolved conflict convince you that there is no common ground with somebody. Sometimes the tension is the very soil where transformation takes place. Let me give you a principle. Every person is a potential bridge, not a barrier. Every person you meet is a potential bridge, not a barrier. And when you start believing that, you start behaving differently. Imagine this. What would happen if you walked into your next conversation, especially with someone that you don't understand, with this mindset? There has to be something in common here. I'm going to find something that we have in common. That mindset alone changes your posture. It makes you ask better questions. It makes you listen longer. It makes you curious instead of critical. And here's the beautiful paradox. The more you look for common ground, the more you find yourself too. All right, the more you look for common ground, the more you find yourself. Because in connecting with other people, you discover the unshakable truth of our shared humanity. It is not sameness that makes connection beautiful. It is the courage to bridge differences that makes connection beautiful. So let's bring this all home with this challenge. Before today ends, before you end today, I want you to find one person, someone you've avoided, someone you've dismissed, someone you've disagreed with, and choose to find one point of connection with them. Just one. Maybe it's a co-worker you've always been cold towards. Maybe it's a family member you've stopped talking to. Maybe it's someone online who represents everything you say you're not. What can you find in common with them? Maybe you both love dogs. Maybe you both grew up poor. Maybe you both want to make a difference in the world. Find that thread. Because the thread you choose to pull today might just unravel a lifetime of isolation tomorrow. Remember, common ground is not always comfortable, okay? But it is always worth it. And if you are, you've ever believed the lie that we have nothing in common, I hope today what you've listened to from me today invites you to dig deeper. Because when we believe we have nothing in common with someone we are sitting across with, we stop trying. All right, we stop trying. But when we start trying, we often find that we were never that different with the person we are sitting across after all. Let me recap for a minute. All right, let me recap for a minute. Today, we're talking about common ground. All right, so I want you to know that separation is an illusion. When you hear we have nothing in common, do not believe it. It is an illusion. And also, there is something we miss when we dismiss people. Connections, opportunities, even moments of destiny that we've missed because we dismiss people. We just believe that we have nothing in common with them, and then we dismiss them outrightly. And also, you need to remember that common ground requires common effort. You have to make an effort to find common ground with that colleague at work, to find the common ground with that neighbor of yours, to find common ground with that person or the next person that you meet in transit. It's important for you to know that you have to, there must be an effort from you. There must be an effort. Instead of avoiding people who are different, be curious about them. Ask fundamental questions. Ask questions. What if instead of assuming the worst of people, you ask deeper questions? Let them tell you their story. Let them tell you where they are coming from. Do you understand me? And often I discover that conflict is just a cover. All right? It's a cover. Most people that you say you have nothing in common with is because maybe you guys have had a disagreement before. You fought over something. Nothing in common has potential to become something powerful, and I want you to find it. All right, I want you to find it. That's it from me today. So we don't grow by staying in echo chambers. We grow when we risk connection. We grow when we search